What does someone look like when they're high on meth? How would our staff be able to tell?
Okay, to begin with, you want to look for rapid movements. Uh, you also want to look for lack of eye contact, um, sort of other symptoms related to maybe an elevated heart rate, agitation, uh, lesions on the skin and face, things along those lines are usually a good beginning telltale.
I would say also in our street population, you'll see kind of people who collect a lot of things. One of the favorite things is kind of taking things apart, like bikes and computer and electronic equipment, um, finding things that seem interesting to deal with. Taking apart is a big hobby on meth, putting back together, not as much. But you'll see like large accumulation of things that sometimes uh, aren't working, but are like projects. So there's a big thing about like starting projects that don't get finished. So a lot of movements, talking rapidly, sort of like almost like dance-like stuff, kind of like you sometimes see people kind of popping and locking a little bit.
Yeah, especially for like for the layman that's really not familiar, I would say just imagine being like hyper overly caffeinated, right? Lots of jaw stuff like this. People are moving their jaws and fidget and inability to sit still, counting, picking, lots of picking and fidgeting, and then yes, to Zach's point, very much taking things apart and unfinished projects. Who's digging holes at 3 a.m. in their yard, right? So imagine that this is a powerful stimulant, and so people are not going to be able to sit still, and there's going to be lots of fidgeting.
After taking methamphetamines, men seem to, their brains react differently and release 3 times the amount of dopamine as women. But women are more prone to become meth addicts at a younger age because they start using at a younger age and they develop and therefore they develop at a younger age. But women are also more generally open to going to treatment and having successful treatments once they're in treatment for methamphetamine.
To view the full discussion, visit the Harm Reduction SharePoint page and the Learning Department's Harm Reduction playlist on YouTube.